there's been one penny has been paid by her. I don't have no record of any payment.
I told them that, yeah, I already looked at it, I know.
And what I don't understand is, I looked at the board meeting minutes, and the board approved, for all, I don't know if you guys all know, but we have a homeowner who basically had a house foreclosed, stayed in, and we took the certificate of title on the house. And she has not paid her dues since 2008.
She hasn't paid her rent.
In 2012, the board went into an agreement with her for 6 months for $420 a month. She did not make one payment. 6 months later, they agreed to keep her in there for another 6 months. Still not anything else was paid. So she owes about $36,000, and now she's trying to stay longer.
I wanna do that. Send it out of here, would that be all right?
I don't know, ask your husband. He
I'm
made the
gonna run a
motion to
house for
approve
you
it.
guys, and I'm not gonna pay.
I'm sorry, your husband made the motion to approve it. And
Are
6
you
months
kidding?
later,
You
you
made that motion?
Yep, that's
I
what the
don't
motion
think
is.
it is.
Well, she's prolonging the inevitable, because they are.
She's
Yeah.
buying another, she's
So-
buying another
But we're
month.
floating that bill.
And then
She's
the question-
extended it another 30 days by putting some money in the till.
And then the question is, do we go after her for back monies? I mean, we told her that, you know, we'd
It's
work with her.
over $36,000.
$36,000 of y'all's money.
Would you say
And
she
our
has a
money.
minivan or something she bought? Or something, a nice car?
I could tell you, let's see how much.
Oh, yeah.
So,
You could get,
she's not hurting.
but that's about.
She's been renting one of the community-owned houses for 2 years, never made $1 payment on a $420
Why
a
wasn't
month
this ever
project.
brought to the board's attention when we used to ask what's going on with these rentals?
I don't know, you were on the board at the time.
That's not
Tell me.
asking. I'm asking, you're
I'm actually shocked.
absolutely right,
This
I
is-
was.
But you said that they extended it by
They
7 months.
they
so it
extended
was
it for 6
brought.
months,
Back
so.
in
Their
2012, why wasn't this brought to us after we were off the board last year?
How did you guys come to find it?
Because we just hired a company last month, and we just found out that there's someone living in there, we thought it was vacant. And then she came to the board, what, September 30th?
But how did you come, were you looking through it and you saw something?
You told her.
Yeah.
Yeah, and well, she sent me the
So I guess it goes back to the
rental
Lawrence.
contract and stuff, I read the
How come the
contract.
Lawrence
No, I
never
was
came?
wondering why.
How come the Lawrence never came to the board, so we're not getting any rental?
You'll find more, I'm sure. Yeah, there's more.
I only show one. 814 was already foreclosed.
There's more other issues.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm not saying exactly this, but there's other issues out there that should have been to the board together, but you'll come over them.
The only reason why I discovered it was because I got with Royka and I said, okay, so on this home, where's your invoice for it? And I want you, he said, I don't do that home. So I drove over there wondering, okay, who's going with this?
Well, Rose, you live here, it's your dues too, so all of us have to pay more dues when we have the 36. So if there's anything insight that you want to give formally or informally, to whoever you so care to do,
I'll do it all.
whether it's me or it's her or somebody,
I'll let you know.
yeah, I mean, because we have to make up the dues when other people don't pay dues or vandalize or disrespect our community, so 36 grand is probably 10% of what's owed to us as a committee for one stinking house. That we try to be good people and give a woman a reduced rate,
You're absolutely right.
and she never made the first frickin' payment ever. And then came to us and asked us to keep her there. So, I feel like it's sad, you know.
Totally understand.
Checking.
Oh, yeah, we've been having a problem with our duty sheriffs getting paid in a timely fashion. And Cheryl, I'd like to propose an amendment to have check writing ability in-house for myself and both the president, vice president to sign off on. So we can cut a check right on the spot if need be.
I think you can make it for all board members.
I just have to go to the bank and get the checks and find out where I'm gonna lock them up at.
We just paid the off-duty deputies last week for work they did in August. We've lost half of our off-duty deputies because we can't pay them in a timely manner. They still haven't paid for work done in August, in September, submitted on October 1st or 2nd. That John and I approved within 24 hours of it coming in added.
Why aren't checks being cut? What's the?
We don't know why check, no check, but we're approving them on a timely basis. There is no dispute. We don't sit on anything more than a day or two unless we have a question or a dispute about it. We've lost half of our off-duty guys, and this community has become gotten a reputation that you're not gonna get paid for a long time. We want the security of having off-duty folks here, and they shouldn't have to wait 7 weeks. We shouldn't have to wait more than 2 weeks to get paid. So, we wanna be able to have check writing ability, and that's the primary function, is to pay the off-duty folks.
It seems like you don't need check writing, you just need the property management company to.
We've complained for 3-4 months about it, and it hasn't been resolved. And now it's critical because we just lost 2 more people. Mike Johnson's been out there, so we lost our key guy, and we've had for enough people that nobody wants to come back anymore.
First service went to a third-party vendor for their AV, for content.
Is that what Abbott is?
Abbott is a third party, yes.
So that they don't own that, that's a third party, all right?
Yes, we don't.
So even after John and I approved one on the 16th and 17th respectively, or 15th, 16th respectively, the check still hasn't been matched and cut.
And this is a process that they're trying to resolve right now.
When
It's
is that-
just not this community.
When did that come on property? Was that in June, or was it earlier?
June 15th.
Right, so you know what the deputies think, it's a new board, new staff, is what screwed up all their thing, and it's just a change in vendor.
I changed it.
But their perception is, all of us are
I know.
delaying their pay. Yes,
I made the motion in a second.
Any other discussion? Okay, so that's for all 5 board members, all in, 2 signatures required.
Yeah,
2
2
signatures
signatures
required.
required.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any, no opposed? Okay. Any other new business? Anybody else have business for us?
Hey, I got a suggestion.
No?
I know you're trying to be kind and have your meetings so everybody can come to your changing your hours. It's variable times. I was talking to Cheryl in regards to the First Services ability to have members of the board, members of the association call in, be put on mute, and still listen to what is going on in the meetings, as well as when the president of the board chooses to allow somebody to speak at the end, open forum.
Well, we
You
usually-
can open it up to one at a time, and that's just one way by phone, and then they also have what's called go-to meeting. So if the board would someday, consider looking into that, you
I'd
can.
be receptive that we want the more participation, the
Right.
better. And you know, we're trying to let people speak in the beginning of meetings so that it doesn't cost them the whole evening
Right.
wasted here. So I'm completely receptive. You can see the logistics of that. The more people that
There's a small
participate, the
fee,
more
but
engaged.
check it out.
Okay?
I have multiple communities that use it, and it's very successful, because many people can't always make it when you have your meetings.
Thank you. Mr. Baker, your side? Good,
Trying to
okay.
get our buildings and grounds committee gathered up so they can have a meeting with wait on responses.
We're gonna have our first committee newsletter crank out in 2 or 3 weeks, and there'll be regular newsletters. Anybody who hasn't seen the Facebook page is a good start versus Billy's page.
On your Facebook page, is it just for homeowners? Because I know Billy's page is for whoever they come. Is
We're
it just for
trying to
homeowners?
cut it to homeowners, but we've had some vendors ask, like the lady who does the swim lessons out here, she comes to our community almost every day, and she asked if she could, it seemed like a legitimate thing to do, but it's highly predominantly for our community. We did allow Commissioner Jennifer Thompson and Susan Rakowski, our chief of staff, to join our Facebook page because they were engaged, and candidly, they helped us with the school traffic. If we're successful and can gain in this community, for those who haven't been privy to this, we're talking about putting a gate on the Kirby Smith side and a gate somewhere here on the front side like Eagle Creek has. The estimates were that this could increase our individual property values. We've seen studies, $25,000 to $35,000 a home to be in a fully gated community. It's a pretty significant coup for us if we can get it. We have to maintain North Shore Golf Boulevard, but it just got done and it should be several years. This is John's competency, and we could add a pretty significant amount to all of our property values, plus security. And John Capoletti, who owns the golf course, has agreed to support us, which would be probably our greatest work to that. So it cuts the cut-through traffic off, the amount of law enforcement needed to maintain proper and safe speeds on North Shore Golf Boulevard. It will make all the people that don't live in our community that queue up to go to the elementary school from south to north now have to access it from Moss Park as it was designed. So we get a lot of significant benefits of being able to put a resident-only gate in Kirby Smith. It's a tough fight. I think our chances of getting it done fairly minimal. We've retained an attorney who knows her way around the county. It seems like she thinks that she has a high degree of successfulness.
Do we have to have, members vote on
We do not.
it? Okay, so you're able to just,
You'll still be gated, all ordinance changed, where the
You're
gates
for
are, so
where the
then
gates
it
are.
still would exist.
So more security, cut down the speeders. If you live in this community, you're speeding, shame on you. Cut all the backup on school traffic, which makes us all heroes. Run that traffic in through Moss Park Road, and maybe eventually use reduction in off-duty pay to support the additional cost. Yeah, everyone seems, if we can pull it off, is a big win for us. Big.
Yeah, if you talk to the off-duty ones, the people that can speed and residents.
They say that, but they don't have it analytically, you know. And you see our residents and the ones that patient residents too. They gave us tickets last week for 61 and 25. A lot of kids were walking home from school.
I drive a big truck and I've had people try to run me off the boulevard because I'm doing 29 miles an hour. I mean, they literally will try to go on the grass around me.
Get their tag number and give it to me or to Mike Johnson, and they will await them one day to get a ticket.
I have pictures I need to send you. There was a car parked last week coming up the boulevard. They were all stacked up for school. One car pulled off onto the grass, stopped, got out and left the car sitting there in the middle of our weekend. And I got pictures of the plate and everything.
Well, they could have been an emergency situation, we don't know. They were,
Hey, we've talked to Cheryl about if you park in this lot and
There's a woman right into the school.
if you park in this lot and you're not, have a North Shore decal and leave your vehicle, we're gonna start towing. And that's the only way to get
It's
your attention.
about time.
We don't have enough parking up here as it is for our residents. So, and then down the road, we're gonna look at parking and all the other amenities and the clubhouse. Okay, if there's no other business, the meeting is adjourned at 7:45. Good, thank you all for coming, thanks for your input. Thank you all. Thank you all.
You have a second on adjourning?
I second that. Third.
Third.
We have a board meeting 2 weeks from tonight. Anybody who's interested?
What time?
That meeting starts at 4:30 because we're having,
Most of us have to work.
well, we're having landscape presentations. We allocate a half an hour to landscape, that's 2 hours there, plus the regular board. Nice to meet you all. Again, thanks for
Are you
coming.
gonna get landscaping?
You could have left, but you wanted to stay.
It's interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, and there's hours every week that you don't see from all the volunteers and all the committees and ARB and staff to get to this point. Yeah, we're starting early, but we don't want to go until 11 o'clock at night. And that's why we're starting at 4:30.